Here. I don't even know how you made it so early. Okay. Um, if you could hear me, just give me a thumbs up. I saw you wave before, but you're the first one, so you got to be my sound tester. Okay, I mean I see a wave, so I assume that is good. I know I'm a little early. I just wanted to make sure it worked, but yeah, dude, there's some new shit to talk about, but dude, at least tomorrow 113 is going to be implemented, and then at least that will be done. They can move on from that. Okay, so let me see. I'm just gonna start because it's recorded. So yeah, um, let me just start with the radio stats of the network. So let's see. We're May 9th today. We got 8,274 CBRS online. We're down about 44 over the past 3 days. So we're losing CBRS radios. The number keeps declining. So I'm not sure if people are unplugging them or they're just going offline or what, but whatever, they're decreasing. And for Wi-Fi, May 9th, we got 10,222. We gained 108 over the past 3 days. So for me, I mean, it's pretty clear that people have shifted to like Wi-Fi right now. So anyways, the current ROI estimates, I was using the mobile token price this morning, 0.0021. So these are unboosted rewards again. So let's just get this over with the indoor hotspot doing about 573 mobile tokens per day. This is Swift Myrtle Eel that I'm using as my benchmark here. This hotspot, it's a normal hotspot. It's got a 1x multiplier, nothing fancy. So without HIP 113, it's doing about $1.20 a day. It's about estimated 207 days ROI. But with 113, we're expecting 130% increase. So that'd give us about 1,317 mobiles a day. That's about $2.76. So that gives estimated ROI about 90 days with 113. So it's pretty good. Outdoor Wi-Fi is about 1,210 mobiles a day. This is strong Sand Fox that I'm using. Again, 1x multiplier. Without 113, it's about $2.54 a day. Estimated ROI is about not dollar, 196 days. With 113, we're expecting about $5.84 per day. Estimated ROI about 85 days. So, and just so you guys realize, 113 is implemented tomorrow. So this is right around the corner. So CBRS indoors, they're doing about 1,434 mobiles per day. That's Old Steel Goose. Again, it's a 1x multiplier. I'm trying to find 1x radios for you guys. Keep the numbers fair. Without 113, it's making about $3.01 a day. Estimated ROI is about 368 days. But with 113, these ones are expected to see a minus 42% decrease. It could be more or less, but we're just going with whatever's in the hip. So expect a minus 42% decrease. So estimated tokens would be about 831 per day. That's about $1.74. So it's looking like we could estimate around 711 days ROI for an indoor CBRS, which is pretty shit compared to the other stuff right now. And let's just go with the 430. The one that I'm talking about, it's doing about 974. This is Rural Blue Gorilla. 974 mobile tokens a day. But this, I got to correct it because it's got a boosted multiplier of 0.49. But if we adjust it so it's like a 1x, it would be about 1,470 mobile tokens per day. So without HIP 113, this is making about $3.08 a day. Estimated ROI is about 434 days. But with 113, this is getting, losing rewards. So we're going to expect about $1.78 per day, and estimated ROI increases like crazy to 751 days. So it's, pretty long time. Considering you have Wi-Fi that's like 90 and 85 days potentially, I don't see why anyone would pick that stuff up now. Okay, so those were the little ROI things. Let's go over the new shit. So actually, no, let me just get the boring shit out first. HIP 110. This is probably end in vote tomorrow. I'm just gonna just briefly go over it again, just because it is for voting. Where's my comments? Okay, whatever. I've lost my comment thing on Twitter. I don't know where it went, but that's unfortunate because I don't know how to get to the comments now. Whatever. HIP 110 is just going to let you. This HIP would allow others to vote on your behalf. So I could assign my voting power to Keenan, and then he could assign it to Fizzy, and then he could assign it to Jack. So basically, people will be able to assign voting power recursively. And if for some reason it lands into, I don't know, someone that I don't like with my voting power, I could pull the vote so they can't use it. So it just lets other people vote on your behalf, like a proxy vote. There's definitely more details to it, but just to keep it simple, that's how the proxy voting is going to work. There was an interesting little, I guess, discussion that took place. I think you'll be able to proxy vote in the future for the, IoT working group and mobile working group elections. So I guess people with like HNT would, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a kind of weird situation when that comes live. But yeah, they were discussing it a little bit in the mobile working group channel. I think you'll be able to vote with other tokens for other working group members. So I don't know. We'll just wait and see what happens when it comes out. So anyways, moving on to 113 is probably the last time we're going to be talking about this, hopefully, because it's been months now. So 113 is just changing the CBRS rewards to be experimental. It's already passed, and implementation is happening tomorrow. It's already coded, so yeah, we're going to probably see the rewards drop tomorrow. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, it's going to be on the 11th. So this is basically just going to hit CBRS with about a minus 42% reduction in rewards, and the Wi-Fi's are going to be boosted about 130%. Now, these numbers were estimates in the HIP, but the data from that HIP was from like March. So I'm personally expecting the Wi-Fi boost to be higher than 130, and the minus 42% for CBRS, maybe it's going to be like a minus 50%. It depends how many radios have come on since then, and we're just going to have to wait and see what's going to happen tomorrow. So the reason why this is changing is because the author of the HIP thought that, CBRS can't pass data right now. It's kind of like an experimental technology. I don't want to go into the in depth about it. We've heard it a million times here, but yeah, so that's going live tomorrow. I have some really important one to talk about. It's the POC and price algorithm adjustment. Now, if I only had my little chat, I would be able to post this in here. Shit, I have no way to share this link right now. But anyway, there's a document drafted by Boris, and I assume Nova had a little help in this too. But they want to adjust, like, this draft HIP outlines a new pricing model for the Helium mobile network. So this is going to affect like everyone. Hold on, let me just try and figure out how to share this link in chat. Hold on, because this is like an important thing to share. Hold on, give me a second. I'm just going to share it under the Moken account. It's just going to be pasted from there. So here's a Google document to it. Send now. Okay, so there's a document posted in chat. I think everyone should read it. But basically, the motivation behind this document is the data price on the network is currently fixed at 50 cents a gigabyte. But with the growing interest of other mobile network operators to use the Helium network for data offload in, we need to adapt the changes in prices so companies want to use the network. The 50 cents a gigabyte is too high, it sounds like. And if we would lower the price, there'd be more interest and more, I guess, mobile network operators that would jump on and start using the network. But anyways, hotspot owners, if this HIP would pass, this is like a draft HIP, first of all, but essentially if it would ever pass or become to vote, hotspot owners would be able to set data prices on their hotspot from free to $1 per gigabyte using some sort of slider control to do this. So if you set your price higher, than what the bid is of a service provider in that location, there's going to be some huge consequences that's going to affect your rewards. So if you set your price to $1 gigabyte because you want to get paid $1 gigabyte, what's going to happen is if the service provider has a deal there for, let's say it's going to be 30 cents a gigabyte, because you have it set to $1 a gigabyte, your hotspot's SSID for the pass point for that service provider is going to be disabled, preventing any customers of that service provider to connect to your hotspot or even detect your hotspot. So essentially, if you set your prices too high, you're just nuking your own rewards, which is, I think what's going to happen is prices are going to be a race to the bottom. Everyone's going to be undercutting everyone to make sure they get rewards. So on top of this rule, hotspots would compete to attract a maximum number of unique connections from a service provider. This would introduce some sort of hotspot utility score, which would be based on the number of unique connections and volume of data the hotspot has passed over the past 7 days. So the ranking formula would be simple. And again, this is a draft tip. This is nothing set in stone. People are going to argue about this, I'm sure, for a long time. So the formula works as this right now. It'd be A times unique connections, and then plus B times data. So where A and B are just predefined weights of importance of the connection versus the volume of data. I don't know what those values are right now. No one does. So, but anyways, the more unique connections you get and the more data they're passing, the higher your score is realistically going to become. So your hotspot utility score would be higher. So yeah, if you're basically not passing data, it sounds like if this HIP does pass and come see the light of day, people who aren't transferring data are in big trouble right now. This does not sound good for you guys. So if you're in locations where data isn't passing, I maybe suggest picking up a Helium mobile SIM card or something to make sure you pass data, because this sounds like it might be like a kill and blow to some radios. There's also a note at the bottom of this HIP that another HIP might come to make changes to how the POC rewards are calculated. So, for example, let's say there are 10 hotspots in the same area, and the top rank ones who are passing the most amount of data and the most unique connections, that single hotspot will get the full 1x POC reward. But let's say there's a hotspot in place number 2, he's passing a little less than the most, like the one in front of him. That one would get like a 0.9x multiplier, and the person in third place would get like a 0.x multiplier. So this is like drastically going to change how POC works the way we know today. If this becomes a HIP, this is like really going to change how we think about proof of coverage. It's really going to be focused on, like, if you don't pass data, your rewards are essentially probably going to drop. It looks like it. So I guess my advice, because this is like pre-HIP, very pre in the future of this even being deployed, I hope. My advice to anyone who's kind of concerned about this is you have to make sure your hotspots are being deployed where data is going to be passing. And if you can't do that, I think you might be able to still at least pick up a SIM card, like a phone plan, and pass some data. But there was HIP talks, or there was talks already in the working group that they'd be able to detect if you buy a phone plan and just pass it through your own hotspot at home, they would be able to detect that and like not kick you out, but like not count it as rewardable data. So, I think the safest bet, make sure it's deployed where there's traffic. So let me just check on my phone if anyone wants to come on here. Nope. Okay. So yeah, anyways, that's a kind of a scary HIP for a lot of people, I think, pre-HIP draft. When I get more information about it, I guess I'll share about it. I like, just to give you guys my personal stance on this right now, from reading it today and talking about it a little bit last week, I personally think it's good. I wanted to set my price to free anyways, because I think the lower you set the price, it will attract more like companies to use the network, and we all just need people to use the network. So I did also see people who were upset. They wanted to charge a lot of money for their data transfer. That's I see that point too. My only concern with setting your price high is maybe it's so high that no new companies want to use our network. And if no one's using our network, well, what's the point of the network? Anyways, yeah, so we'll come back to that, I guess, Monday or whenever we have more information. Um, so I'm just going to go to the next topic. There is the mobile working group elections that are coming soon. So there's 10 people elected for the mobile working group, and 5 of them are up for like re-election. Like they're going to be kicked out, and we're going to vote in 5 new people. It could be the same people again that get voted in, but I'm going to share the link. So this is open for anyone. Everyone could apply. It doesn't matter who you are. I'm not even gonna pretend like they're a little biased though. Like if you've never posted in Discord, there's a high chance no one's probably gonna vote for you. But it is open to everyone to vote. So, uh, anyways, to join this, I pasted a link in chat. It will start May 13th, and it will be live for 7 days. So all you need to do is put your public Discord username and your unique ID for Discord in there, and about like 3 sentences about yourself, why you want to join the mobile working group and what you could contribute. So the members that are getting like kicked out this round is well, not kicked out, but their time's expiring, let's say. It's Brainstormer, Heated Lime, Keith R, Max, and Kenny. Kenny has already like withdrawn himself from the mobile working group like maybe a month ago, so he's already left the group. So yeah, there's going to be 5 spots. So if you think you could contribute, to help the mobile network grow and stuff, why not? It's always nice having people in that group to talk about trying to make the network work. So that was the mobile working group elections. I'm going to go to the plan boosts now. So for people who aren't aware, yesterday they not boosted, on the planner tool, the planner.hellohelium.com. If you visit that tool right now, you're going to see there's a new option called plan boosts. So basically what's happened is, we have Miami as our original boosted area. Well, now they have put special like purple hexes or like dark red hexes that are going to be planned boosted areas in New York City and in LA. So if you're in those areas, it's definitely worth I would check out the planner tool before you deploy anything. Maybe you're in a boosted hex, maybe you're not, but it might change how you want to deploy stuff. So the boosted hexes that I've seen so far, like the plan boosted ones on the planner, only go up to 5x. I think we've all learned our lessons that 100x have been way too high, and I don't think they're ever going to boost 100x's again. But yeah, so I think most of them, if not all of them, are 5x. So yeah, and one more thing to note about the boosted hexes is because there's a lot of hips that seem to be focused on passing data and data transfer. When you deploy in a boosted hex, they're boosted because they have like a higher likelihood of passing data. So you should try and focus in these areas because they're probably going to, be the ones passing lots of data in the future. At least we hope so. So anyways, if you want to see the planner tool, the new plan boosted hexes, you can just visit planner.hellohelium.com and you'll be able to see that. And I have one more little topic for, some people want to come on. Hold on. Sometimes I get carried away just reading my document and I forget to invite people. Okay, I invited like 3 of you guys, so I'm sure some of you have something to say, right? Oh, got another guy.
Yes, one quick question. You said we'll be going with 5x, which I guess is reasonable, maybe a good idea. I like 10x personally, but I would say there's also the thing that we could probably boost more areas if we lower the amount. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if the amount's lower, I guess everyone could get like, a lot
they
more
could
boost.
make more. Yeah, they could have more boosted areas, which I think is great because that'll really, because let's face it, Miami, some of those spots were very difficult.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
and it is a 5x boost. If you look at the planner, a lot of them, if not all of them, because I didn't check every single one, they say 5x boost. And still, a 5x boost on. Let me just go up to my like
JD,
prices. I
quick
would
question:
say
have they boosted New York yet?
the plan boost is there. I don't
Oh,
know
it's
if you
there.
just
Okay.
joined, but you could look on the planner tool and you could see what locations are going to be planned
Does it
boost.
show on the Helium coverage map, or do you got to go to the planner?
Planner
Planner. Okay.
planner.helium.com. So just to give people, like little ROI perspective here, if we're going to have like Wi-Fi units, like an indoor Wi-Fi after 113 is expected like $2.76. We could just like, what is that, 5x that? It's let's see, like $13.80 a day. That's pretty good on a $249 unit. I'm just doing the math right now, real time, so everyone's going to hear my click in.
Are those boosted hexes live now?
No, they're plan boosted hexes. So that's why if you
Okay,
guys are
you
going
have
to
time yet.
deploy, look at the map before you deploy anything, because if you could get a boosted hex, why not? Like, and yeah, like that would bring down ROI. I gotta say estimated ROI to about like 18 days if you could get a indoor Helium mobile Wi-Fi hotspot in one of those like 5x boosts. So it's pretty good. That's like 13-ish bucks a day on a $249 unit. I'm not even going to bother calculating the CBRS
Have
stuff. Like,
Have
it's
they
just too
eliminated
much.
Miami, or is Miami still boosted?
It's still boosted, but yeah.
But it's only
And
5x. Did they take away the 100?
no. Miami still has their normal whatever boost. All the new
Wow.
spots in LA and New York City are 5x, it seems.
And when they boost, quick question: when they boost New York and LA, Miami will lose the boost, right?
I don't think they'll lose it, but I mean, essentially, if you added new boosts, everyone kind of picks away from each other's rewards. Like the rewards don't
Yeah.
come from nowhere, so like your rewards should go down a little bit. So the goal is just deploying boosted hexes if you can. Now, I did have just one more topic I need to cover because it's something interesting that came up last minute. And this is nothing to do with Helium. It's actually with XNet, but I still wanted to talk about it because, maybe it's a good opportunity for something. But they're proposing to reduce the total token supply by 99%, which is kind of an absurd number. But um, it's going to read a little bit of their zip. That's their equivalent of like hips.
Is
So
this a
they're
hip? Hold on, JD. Is this a hip, or is this Helium
did
doing
did
this?
wait. This is for XNet. Just let me read it and I'll explain it. So yeah, this is an XNet proposal, not Helium, just so everyone knows. But it's very odd that someone wants to reduce total supply by 99%. So that's why I'm bringing it up. So they're proposing to cut a 99% cut to the XNet token total supply. Um, yeah, and it's important to note that this burn comes from unissued tokens, which, if executed, will be extremely beneficial to the people who hold current tokens because they won't be touched, while the future ones will be getting greatly reduced. So, like, I only wanted to bring this up because, like, if they're about to destroy all their cut it by 99%, people who hold XNet tokens today are probably going to be laughing in the future. I did want to just paste the document. Hold on, let me just paste it before jumping the gun here. I personally already had some XNet tokens. Let's see. So here we go. Oops. Sorry guys, I'm just pasting it. Don't take my word for it. This is literally their document. So there it is. It's
Let
pasted
me
in
ask you a
chat.
question, JD, about that. Doesn't that kind of defeat the whole purpose of tokenomics? Like if Helium came in and said, "Well, we're just going to change the total token amount," or do that, like that just destroys the whole idea of what was started.
Well, from what I understand, XNet has I think it's like 24 billion tokens or something. Look, I'm not an XNet expert, but from what I understand is there's too many tokens they have and they want to cut the supply. But it's kind of suspicious because I don't know. I don't know how I view this because they have a lot of employees who get paid in XNet tokens, so it's just very convenient. All their tokens are going to go up in value like crazy, and yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up because it's an extreme ass move too, and the way they vote on their zips or whatever. I think they joined a Twitter call, and if enough people like it in the Twitter call, it passes. They don't have like a voting process like Helium where you vote with mobile tokens. It's literally just yay, nay. I think the most who have the most yays, it passes. If it's mostly nay, it fails. So um, yeah, I don't think that it makes sense to, like, personally. If I was going to buy some XNet stuff right now, I'd probably just buy the token. I'm not even going to risk it on the piece of hardware if the tokens might get cut by 99%. It probably makes more sense to just pick up some tokens. So again, this thing has not passed or failed, so maybe it never even sees the light of day. Who knows? I just wanted to share it because when something extreme like that pops up, I think it's worth sharing with everyone. I don't think I had anything else left. Nope, that was it. So unless you guys have some questions or something, I will probably get going because I'm not going to spend 30 minutes of wasting everyone's time if I don't have to. Well,
JD,
actually, I have a bunch of people who want to come on, so hold on, hold on.
I've got a question.
Yep.
Earlier, you mentioned the corresponding 130% increase for Wi-Fi by making CBRS experimental. Did you mean 130% increase as in more than double, or did you mean 130% as in a 30% increase?
No, like 130%. Like it's a little more than double.
Got it.
So
Thank you.
yeah, so it's going to be some like crazy numbers these Wi-Fi units are going to be pumping out.
Got it. Thank you. And my second question was on the dynamic pricing where the hotspot owners would be able to set their threshold. Well, do we have any kind of idea of what visibility hotspot owners would have? Like, would I be able to see what threshold nearby hotspot owners were setting? Would I be able to see from the demand side what thresholds were? If I was asking for 20 cents, but but there was some carrier who would only pay 15, would I know that information? Do we have any kind of idea on that?
Yeah, there's no information about this yet. This is like I'm only announcing it because it's like a pre-hip. It doesn't even have a channel. It's not even considered a hip yet, but it's so early that that type of information is not there yet. I hope you would be able to see like, what's the average price per gigabyte in your area, and then you could adjust accordingly. I would hope that's an option, but they did say in the post that the service provider wouldn't be able to see the price that you set it to. But I know you're asking, you want to see like the price around you, right? So you'd be able to like pass the data and not be locked out.
Right. And I would want to know if a carrier was like, no, we're not going to pay more than 12 cents. That's information worth knowing. I can decide whether I want to go to 12 or not.
I
So,
think once that if this thing gets like a hip channel, I think these are the questions we need to make sure we have answers to, because obviously I want to know if I'm charging 2 pennies too much and that's killing all my rewards, I'll just lower it 2 pennies, like.
yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yep. I'm really excited for that hip. Honestly, I think that's going to be a really big change in the network if something like this would pass. I don't know how the community sees this yet. I haven't really spoken to anyone about it. So, yeah.
Hey Jay, the whole XNet there. It's been a while, but let me brush up a little bit on tokenomics. It sounds drastic in theory when you hear the number 99% cut on the token supply, but there's token supply, there's outstanding supply, and there's circulating supply. So when you look at XNet's tokenomics, like the amount of tokens that they had proposed to mint ultimately was like ridiculously large compared to Helium Mobile, compared to World Mobile, when you look at how their tokenomics are working. So even if they do cut 99% of the total supply, it's not going to have a direct effect on the current supply. So those who are holding the token, it won't just fly up overnight and stuff like that. So it sounds like that in theory, but that's not how it works.
Yeah, the person who wrote the zip makes it sound like it's going to be extremely beneficial. It's slowly word for word. It's going to be extremely beneficial to current token holders. That's how they worded this thing. To be fair, it's I guess like a community member who wrote the zip or something. But yeah, I know it's like for the tokens that would have been emitted in the future.
I I think it's kind of weird. Well, it is weird, but like with their 50 XNet tokens per gig, which they can obviously change at any time, it seems. Maybe they're directing it, try to make it 1x net per gig or something like that. But also, like, I don't see if they have this model where it only pays for data transfer, I don't see how it really affects price, right? Because you want more tokens because that just means that you're it's going to be a very long time and a lot of data before you start to see, oh, you're not really getting 1x net per gig. You're getting, half because we don't have enough or some shit like that. It's gonna should I don't yeah. Doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I'm no XNet tokenomics expert. I don't pretend to be. I just see big number and I'm like, oh, that's something interesting to talk about.
I mean,
I do actually. Oh, did you have something to add to that?
no, go ahead.
Okay, I because I just read in a comment. It's funny that you're on here right now, but someone's asking, what about HIP 122? About it coming out of the service provider bucket. I guess someone's asking like, what's the status update on that? But there's really no status update on that, right? Nothing's changed in the HIP. Like, it still plans to come out of service provider bucket, then overflow into POC rewards.
As far as it's written, like I said, I may change it, but I mean, I haven't heard a lot of pushback against changing it. I mean, I know like you, JD, want it to only come out of the service bucket, but I mean, just
Yeah, I know that's just me though. Like, there's a whole network. I don't know what everyone thinks.
right. Like I said, it will kind of change how like you'll get to that point to where you're no longer getting the guaranteed boost because there's so many boosted exits maybe.
How about how you guys how you guys feel about GeoNet? So the other day I was just looking for another project just to add, for diversification, should I say, and just to add to some of the stack setups that are there. Came across GeoNet. Okay, looks pretty interesting. Can connect via Wi-Fi, so don't necessarily have to run any PoE cables or anything like that. But when I found out that it's 6 to 8 week lead time right now, I that just rubs me the wrong way with these projects that have such long lead times. Part of it is, are they just taking our funds and using it when we can be investing it right now?
Can you explain more?
Uh,
Making bank lead time? I'm not really following. Thank you.
Lead time, meaning that if you order it today, it's going to take 2 months before you get it, right? 6 to 8 weeks, right? Possibly. So, um, just like how
One,
Hive Mapper has long lead time right now, right?
one thing,
So,
one thing to remember about GeoNet is that you can only have one fully paid unit per hex. And so if you're not that one first arriver, you're going to get drastically cut. So if you order your unit in 2 months it comes and somebody has already grabbed your hex, you're going to be out of luck.
Can you
hold
explain more
on 1 second.
about
One
GeoNet
second.
too?
Let me just finish my thought. And you'll get where I'm going at. So, correct. So, one, you order now, someone else could get it. You probably get the hex, you're out of that hex. Two is there's a halving that's coming up in June. So, am I better off? I think I'm better off just getting the token for now, right? I still have liquidity because I can always sell it. And there's probably more of a potential of an upside move in the market sooner rather than later, opposed to waiting 2 months for equipment and my money is locked up and someone may take this hex before my equipment even come. And then on top of that, right now, they're trying to figure out how to put up charging stations, much less who's paying for data. Who's really going to pay for data for mapping out the sky, right? Will that come one day? Hell yeah, I believe so. But is that any time now? So that's kind of where I'm at here, is starting to see a real redundancy when it comes to these quote unquote DePIN projects and the lead time for these DePIN projects and stuff like that. Ready to see some stuff that's fresh and not just, yeah. Those are my thoughts.
I, I just had a
Could you explain GeoNet, you guys? Just maybe some people here don't know
well.
exactly what it does. I have heard it does some satellites.
Before we do that, I just had a quick question, and then I can leave. Does anybody know when 103 and 113 will be reflected in the planner?
They keep saying end of like months, like end of the month, but yeah, I don't have a solid answer for that. The one person who will have an answer for that is Meowsha or whatever her name is in Discord. She's got a little, like, I think it's a green cat as her profile photo or something. We'd have to ask her. I could try and ask her because it is important to show those changes in the planner while people are doing these calculations.
Yeah, and my other question is, when will CBRS have some visibility and when they'll become useful? I know they're working on that. I think somebody said that Google and Apple are working on that. It seems like CBRS is a great way to go, but it doesn't work. When will they figure that out?
Well, we don't see anything behind the scenes with Apple and Google and that, but Amir, like Capcom, he did post in Discord on May 2nd that the CBRS SIM cards are still coming. So they are working on it behind the scenes, it sounds like. But yeah, until I guess we have the SIM cards, who knows? I think it was supposed to be first quarter, but like we're past first quarter, so.
Okay, thanks.
I got a thing backing up to the boosted recommended hexes. Did you guys notice that there's Cornell University? That's way
Yeah,
outside of
I
New
saw
York
that way
City.
up there. Yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
today.
sus. Very sus.
JD, I asked before, maybe someone could explain in their words what GeoNet is and how they think it's going to be useful.
My explanation of GeoNet, to keep it simple, is it's just like super accurate GPS. So GPS, it's not like the most accurate thing in the world, but I think it's accurate, like centimeter accuracy or something. So just for like super accurate applications. So one use case I've
And
seen
let me
is the
ask this.
lawnmower and the drones. So some people have like robotic lawnmowers, so it won't like go off your lawn. And drones, it doesn't hurt to have pinpoint accuracy when flying.
No, absolutely. I know GeoNet's been around a while. That's kind of what I thought it was. But is there any actual real world testing going on with it? Like, have they seen it actually work? Has anyone here actually seen it in action?
I've seen it at they show on their YouTube channel. They bring it to press conferences, right? Like with their robot lawnmowers and stuff. I have a GeoNet myself. I can't verify that it's doing anything because I don't have anything that uses that like RTK stuff. But
What exactly can you explain what it is? What is their minor? What do they sell? Can you explain a little further?
they sell a little satellite that you put on a pole, and if you have clear line of sight, you get rewarded. That's why a lot of people pick up a
Okay.
GeoNet and they put it on their deployments with the Helium mobile Wi-Fi because it's just something you just throw on top. But yeah, there's a big problem right now with the lead times, like Moken Bank was saying. So if you order like equipment today, you might get it in 2 months, and then like a Havenen's probably already going to be done, and then who knows
Yeah.
about like supply chain delays? Like this is it's not fun when you order something and have to wait months. Shit changes so fast. Like it might be completely worthless in 2 months. Who knows?
I mean, you're missing opportunity with other tokens. That's a big thing I think Make and Bank touched on that people don't realize. And that's something that I'm fighting Hive Mapper on, and Helium has their work cut out. People forget this, that going to Solana was an outstanding move. However, it becomes more challenging for the HNT and mobile token and IoT token because it's so easy now to swap to Solana or another token. It wasn't that easy before we moved to Solana. It was a little bit more work.
I invited like a bunch of you guys. I know Andy's on here, Atlas, Suburban. So I don't know who wants to speak first, but
Hey, this is Andy. So for anybody interested in GeoNet, I am kind of doing like a non-official partnership, I guess, with Helium Deploy, where I placed a bulk order of GeoNet miners with Helium Deploy. They're going to help me try to find different hosts and stuff. And so if anybody is interested in hosting and not directly purchasing it and don't want to, take the risks of the lead time, um, I do have a bulk order in with Helium Deploy. I should be hopefully getting those within a month and a half, hopefully, considering. So if you are interested in deploying GeoNet but don't want to do the up price purchase or anything, reach out to me and we can
Perfect.
potentially make a hosting deal.
Yo, I got like 3 locations for you, bro. So I'll reach out in the DMs for those.
Yeah.
Sounds
Same here. Same here.
good.
do you want to explain how your hosting thing works? Like, just for people who aren't familiar, like, do they have to pay
Yeah.
for a GeoNet unit, or you give it to them for free, or what?
Yep. So I'm going to be placing all my order for GeoNet equipment and miners directly through Helium Deploy. And so I will be paying the full cost of the equipment. I'll mail you the equipment. I'll walk you through setting up the equipment, everything like that. The nice thing about GeoNet too is it's once you set it up, like you just forget about it. There's never maintenance. Like it rarely goes down as long as your internet connection is steady. It'll never go down. You'll never have to do anything or readjust anything. So it's really actually really passive and super easy to do. I actually sent one out to a host out of state, and with no prior knowledge of crypto or anything, they set it up super easy even without my help. So very easy to set up, and but yeah, you'd bear no cost. I would bear all the costs, and then we'd work out some sort of hosting agreement and revenue share structure.
Can you follow me back so I can message you? Because I right now you can't message.
Yeah, is this Atlas?
Yes, sir.
All right, I just followed you.
Yeah, and if anyone listening wants to get hooked up with Andy, feel free to send me a message, or you could send him one in Discord. His name's Heated Lime, or just send me one, JD, and I'll like connect you to him. So, yeah.
Andy, quick question. Does it have to be Ethernet? Can it be Wi-Fi? PoE?
Yeah,
How
good
does it
question.
work?
Yep. So it's just Wi-Fi. So no Ethernet. There actually is no Ethernet port. So you basically just need to be in range of Wi-Fi to connect to Wi-Fi, and then within range of some sort of electric or power outlet to plug it in. But it's very low. Uses very low electricity, similar to like a hotspot.
And just to be a little sellout here on GeoNet, personally, I got one given to me for free, so I'm a little biased. But I set it up like, I don't know, a year ago or something. I've literally never had to touch it. Like, not even like, you know how you sometimes you have to touch a Helium hotspot and look at it and reboot it. I've literally never touched it. It's like a demo to me. Like, when I use demo, I literally never have to tinker with it. So definitely one of my like more favorite passive units.
Not to be redundant, but I'll kind of like veer from demo off this. Has anybody like JD's aware that last year I had a $2,700 bike stolen, and lucky for me, I had bought a Helium tracker, and the bike was recovered. You can actually see the article in Discord. I was very lucky. I got the bike back a week later because of the tracker. I got the guy riding it on film. He was a known bike thief in the city. And there's no way I would have ever had a chance of getting that $2,700 bike back had I not had a Helium tracker. My question is, has anybody seen any devices used for GeoNet?
I
Or seen it in
think all
action?
the devices that use GeoNet are called RTK. Yeah. So if
Okay.
you like Google like RTK stuff, I think that is all supported by it.
Nice, thank you.
And yeah, Atlas, I know your hands up. Just spit it out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for GeoNets, I know my boy Suburban right here sells the little brackets. So, if you need them for the GeoNets, he has them. And then Andy, so how long does this wait time? Because I know you just put a bulk order in, but do you have any models on hand, or are we waiting, the 6 to 8 week lead time? Just curious.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any on hand. The ones I had on hand, I already deployed. And so it's probably been at least a couple weeks since I've purchased the bulk order. So I'm hoping, I believe Abel from Helium Deploy said he can try to get it 4 to 5 weeks. So hopefully within a month, around a month time period, I should be getting some.
Right on, right on. I did have a comment too. The macaroons. So when is that competition end? Because it's like almost $1 million for those demos. Macaroons going out, right? JD.
Yeah, you put me on the spot. I don't remember when that contest ends exactly. We do have a blog post about it. I could paste it in chat. That has all the details, though. Just
For sure. I'll take a look. And then I did want to say, I know how it is to wait. I bought like 4 Hive mappers in December, and I've been waiting for like 5 or 6 months. So the anticipation is killing me, and I can't wait for those things to come in, bro.
Did you buy the original or the B?
Well, I got 3 originals, and then I have one B model. So
Okay, yeah, I ordered like early December, and I got mine in March. I was kind of surprised.
yeah, so if you were like a week later, you get pushed back 3 months. So I was a week late, and somebody that I know ordered one a week before me and got it in February. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. A week determines 4 months for wait. Okay.
just to let you know, I posted the demo contest in the chat. If someone's not aware, there's a contest going on with the demo macarons where as you drive around, it will connect to Helium hotspots, and if you connect to the most in your city, you'll get some prize in demo tokens. It starts on I just had this date here, May 19th, and it ends on June 30th. And it's funny because June 30th, I think, is when the GeoNet halvening happens too. So June 30th is going to be a big day.
Quick thing, JD. I just wanted to comment on demo. I have 4 of them, the Autopies, and they paid well. They it's dropping off a little bit now, but I'm still looking for. I want to see what data they're collecting and who's buying it. That's like, to me, the big question. The jury's out for me. I just want to know how valuable that data really is. Can you make money with it? Absolutely. But I'm looking at the big picture.
Oh, dude. So, I mean, you can use those tokens to get like mechanic repairs at discounts and stuff. Car companies are already using your data out there. So why not get paid for it? It's like they're collecting pretty much everything that you can see in the app. Yeah. I mean, what do you mean you don't know what it collects?
And like, I have one in like a 2011 piece of crap Honda Accord that my friend has. Like, I just don't know how valuable that data is. I got one other friend, he drives like 2 miles a week and he gets tokens.
Yeah, look, I don't know how all that data is being used or sold, but I think he said just before, like, you could use it, I guess, for like coupons at the mechanic or something. Where I live, Demo, it doesn't have too many like third party services built into it. I'm sure the United States has way more than I have. So you just have to open up the Demo app, and there's like a section in there. I erased my phone yesterday, so I lost my Demo app, but there is a section in that app where it shows you all those services that are being offered. So I would just like go over to that tab and you can see it all. Like, that's where your data is being used and like where it's going for whatever services is in that tab of the app.
Thanks, JD. That was helpful.
Okay.
So sorry, pardon the interruption. So I just wanted to speak on what Moken Bank mentioned about the lead times. It's been, I mean, 6 to 8 weeks isn't too bad. If a lot of us have been around from the early Helium days when it was 6+ months. But I will say that GeoNet does have Web2 customers right now that are buying that RTK data. So they do have money flowing in right now. It's just they're not overly transparent with who those customers are. So, if you're looking to get into GeoNet, I would say for me, I've been in for about 2 years, and it's probably been the easiest, most passive income. The one drawback I will say with GeoNet is the chipset that is in the little quote unquote miner is a little bit weak. And they're, even though you haven't touched it, there will be times where if you're not within, say 50 feet of your Wi-Fi, that it'll start failing and you'll have to continuously reboot it. So, but I would say if you're trying to get into something, GeoNet is about the easiest thing you can do right now. I think mine makes like $12 a day, and it just sits there.
Damn, that's a lot, bro. $12 a day, and you've had it for 2 years. Whew.
$12 a day. Are you sure about that? That's a
No,
lot. That's like
yeah. So you could get a maximum of 48 not demo tokens, GeoNet tokens per day. So you just go to like Coin Market Cap. I don't even know what the price is, but yeah, you just times it by 48. So GeoNet, let's see, yeah, their token price is 23 cents. So whatever that is, 48 0.23, yeah, $11, whatever. It's close enough. But the halvening is coming too, right? So you won't be able to get your 48 tokens. You'll get 24, but maybe the token price will like, sometimes people hope the token price is like double to adjust, back to where it was. But, we can't predict the future here. But yeah, GeoNet, yeah, ever since I set it up, honestly, it's just been pumping out money for nothing. So I'm happy with it. We do sell it, so obviously, we do have those lead times, like everyone was saying. Even Andy, the units he placed with us are unfortunately, we're just waiting for the manufacturer to make the units. I think they didn't plan this much demand for their units, and that's why they're all slow right now. So.
Yeah, and Nadix has like if you guys probably heard of Nadix, they have like a 12% discount in the app for GeoNets as well. Just FYI.
Yeah, just to talk on that, because I'm like Moken Helium Deploy, that 12% doesn't work with us. It works on GeoNet, like their website, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know when they're going to ship, or if we'll get units before them, or yeah. So I don't know who's going to ship first.
Yeah, it says 6 to 8 weeks on their site too. So yeah.
And like what Atlas said, I do sell the little mounts for the antennas. If you've deployed a GeoNet or have seen what they send with a threaded rod for the antenna, it's kind of a joke. And just shilling a little here, but they're like $20. But seriously, it's a million times better than what you get with the miner. They really cheaped out with that.
How much is the GeoNet miner itself if you order from them?
Shoot, I think that'd be a good question.
Close
for
to
JD. I think they're about
$700.
$800.
It's like 600 something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, we have it on our site for $6.95. That's for the triple band version. Just watch out when you're buying GeoNet units, because some people are selling the dual band unit, which does not make this much in rewards. So you just have to be very careful to buy the triple band unit. So just something to pay attention to. If you see a cheap one, it's more than likely a dual band. You can upgrade them. It's just I don't have like the upgrade kits.
Are they being scalped on eBay right now?
Yeah, I mean, any crypto hardware that makes money is being scalped on eBay. So, I mean, yeah. If you have anything that makes money, of course it's being scalped. Like, yeah.
Yeah, Hive mappers are going for almost $3,000. So if you want to pay like 5-10x on something, feel free.
Yeah, if you're looking for, we have a what's it called, Weather XMs. Just for people who don't know what Weather XMs are, we do carry it. Just being a little sellout here, but it like tracks the weather, right? Hyper local weather data. The problem is with Weather XM, or maybe not a problem. The token is in testnet, so there's no value to the token, so people don't know how much money it makes. But why I'm bringing this up is because you don't know how much money it makes. That's why they're still available. The second that token gets launched, and let's pretend it makes $10 a day, you might not be able to buy the units anymore. So like, some people just have to risk it sometimes and buy the equipment before the token's even launched, because by the time it launches, you're not going to be able to get the equipment. It's just like how crypto works, right? It's very hard to get your hands on it.
JD, that what's concerning me about Weather XM, and you and I spoke, I use their Explorer more than probably any other Explorer in the crypto universe. I use it all the time. I used it yesterday. It was raining here, and I needed to like dodge the rain, and I was looking all over at the miners around me. It was so helpful. They've been talking about this token launch now for a long time. A lot of people are getting antsy because we're talking like well over a year.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing to say about that. I mean, I've been waiting too, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like Thorchain, right? They're kind of relatively new. They're kind of hard to keep connected all the time, but you hope that the airdrop's going to be good, and you hope when they're at a test net that the value is going to be worth it. And I got one of those things, and it's definitely not the easiest to connect to all the time, but I'm hopeful that it'll pump out some good money when it goes live. Same as Nadix and Silencio.
Yeah, I'm only talking about WeatherXM and that just because I know there's probably people in this chat who like to make more risky bets than other people would make and just YOLO into hardware and hope it pays off in the future. So that's why I'm just mentioning it's there. Yeah, and the Modus Mini is another one, right? It's only like $80, but my God, it's a pain in the ass to use. But at least you'll get that airdrop, and hopefully that airdrop will be worth more than $80. So like, it's not hard to ROI on $80. So hopefully.
Yeah, they just changed their name. Instead of Modus Mini, I think they changed it to like Soar Mini just to not cause confusion. But that's like a new change they did like a week and a half ago.
Oh, why did they change the name? What's wrong with Modus Mini?
Well, because it's Sword Chain, they wanted it to be more like easy to find instead of having like two different names to kind of differentiate it. They want it to be a little similar to make it easier, so that it's Sword Chain, and I think just for the ease of finding one project in one name.
All right.
Anyone have any comments on Silencio? I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like another Planet Watch. Could very well be
No,
wrong.
I
Just my
think
own opinion.
Silencio is kind of good. I'll tell you my only selling point for Silencio is when I was shopping for a place to move to, I wanted to know how noisy it was before I even considered the place. And Silencio is just one of those weird apps that just have that very specific data that I wanted. I think it's useful for realtors because then you could show on your listing how noisy the place is, like actual noise data. Because no one wants to move into an area where it's noisy as shit. Like it's that's like the only valuable thing I see for it.
So it's going to be big because in the EAU by 2030 they're trying to reduce their noise by like 30-40%. So like it's pretty big even if you don't see the impact just for like housing markets, but also like entire nations they're trying to reduce their sound pollution. So it's going to play a big role in the future for sure.
I totally agree with that. I think that's brilliant. But my only problem is I've always had a problem with companies that allow you to use your own hardware. A lot of times it's great and it's so decentralized, but it's like Planet Watch had this problem of like sending people these air sensors. Like people are like, yeah, how's my air quality? And they're hooking it up to the muffler of their car. And sometimes I wonder how can they be sure the data they're getting isn't gamed or is legit? Because people can do a lot of weird things with their cell phone versus an actual device like a Hive Mapper that the company makes and has control of. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like you said, we're in the beginning stages too, so they may have devices that are, where they move their pay to model to being devices that they offer out. That's what I could see them doing once they go live for sure. Because I mean, even with Natix, it's like, you don't have to actually map the road. You can just have your app on, and it's not really like super clear data, right? Compared to like Hive Mappers, they like judge your pictures and the quality of it, and pay you based off of like good images. So it's all beginning stages things that I think definitely have improvement in future use cases with hardware implementation.
Look, I'm just gonna. Well, you got something more to say? I was gonna like try and end it because I got to go somewhere.
Oh, yep. Sorry, just gonna say real quick that I don't know if everyone on here saw, but Planet Watch was acquired by Ambient a couple days ago, so they're going to be migrating to Solana.
I saw that.
Yeah. It one thing on Planet Watch, we used to sell their equipment. It's funny because I set up one of the Aware elements like 3 days ago. I didn't connect it to Planet Watch. I just had old hardware that like since the project like died at one point, everyone stopped caring. I dug one out of the box and just set it up just to monitor my air quality. But yeah, I guess it's cool. It's come to Solana. I think I have Planet Watch tokens that have been sitting there for years. I literally never sold them or moved them.
Yeah, I almost bought into that token, but I'll let you end it. I never bought the devices, but I almost did. But I'll let you end it. I know you got another meeting and stuff.
Yeah, so just so everyone's aware, the mobile working group call is going to start in like 2 minutes. Maybe they'll touch on the what's it called? That POC, like the set in your hotspot data reward price. Hopefully that might be brought up. Who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna have to end the call because I'm gonna have to go there. So
thanks,
yeah,
JD.
I'm
Great
gonna say
meeting.
thank you guys for joining and talking about whatever. And yeah, I guess I will see you guys on Monday. And if I get more news about the price setting, I will definitely bring it to Monday or whenever I get the update on it. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys in the mobile working group call because that started in a minute. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next week.